Okay, hi everybody, it's Jess and I am really excited for today's project. I am coaching people, life coaching, career coaching, creativity coaching, and one of my awesome clients this month told me that she had a painting at her home and she went into her studio to work on her projects and she saw this painting and she really didn't like it and it didn't speak to her anymore, so she took yellow paint and put a huge slash through the painting just to mark it as no more and to move on with something new and fresh and invigorated on this canvas. And she inspired me so much. That is the kind of bravery and badass move that I love to hear about. So I thought I would give you a little video to inspire you to open up, let go of the pieces that have been stuffed away under your bed or into your closet or into your son's closet if you're like me, and do something new. Get new life out of yourself and into your art. And so what you're going to need is some coffee. Actually, I have decaf because I have adrenal fatigue and I cannot drink caffeine. But I do love the taste. And you're going to need all your favorite supplies because this is an exercise in making yourself happy, not in making yourself uncomfortable or unhappy. And you're going to need some paintings that don't speak to you anymore. So I've got a few that I'd put in a bag to give away. And I'm going to take them and show you a quick and easy way to breathe new life into yourself and into your work. So the first thing you want to do is find a favorite color. So I'm going to spin my color wheel over here and just pick a favorite color that speaks to me. I like yellow, so I'm going to get some yellow. And this is the fun part. Cover up a lot of what you've done. See, we're not holding on with attachment to what we had before. We're inviting it to play a part in the new energy and life. And so we're repurposing it. We're literally rebirthing it in a way, or it's helping us birth again something that wouldn't exist without this. So it isn't wasted. And a blue. Oh, and I like this color. And you could definitely wait for the acrylic to dry or blow dry it. That's the word I'm looking for. I tend to want to paint when I can, and I don't really necessarily have the time to do all that. Plus, I don't want to go back and edit that out of this. I'm lazy is really what, let's call it what it is. I'm lazy. I don't want to go back and edit the blow drying out of this video when I could just give you one whole video of me making the painting. And yes, I am wearing a white shirt to paint because I like to live on the wild side. I live on the edge. And I wipe my hands off on my black yoga pants, because that's what they're for. And we'll do some of this. And at this point, what I would really like to do is see if there's an image coming out at me, popping out at me. And if there isn't, maybe add one in. Let's find us a wolf. Best way to find it is to draw it or to see it. Or maybe we'll see a different animal. Okay, I see something. Do you see something? I do. Let's see what we can find. India ink. and you look for some kind of shape. Maybe it's the wolf, maybe it's what you picked out that you really wanted to work with. And I would have liked to see a wolf in here, but that may not be what's supposed to find me. It may not be what's supposed to come of this painting. So I'm just going to go with something that caught my eye. And use my India ink and a little brush like this to outline what caught my eye and the shape that I definitely see in here. And it's, you know, I have this thing where I'm the worst wine drinker. I lived in Europe multiple times, but in Switzerland I learned a lot about wine. But I can never articulate what it is I taste or smell. I'm really bad at that. Really, really not capable of articulating, coming up with the words, the descriptions, describing. So this figure actually reminds me of some kind of animal, but I'm blocking on what it is, and I'm hoping that as I kind of work with the India ink, it'll come to me. India ink is awesome because it pretty much goes on top of the acrylic, unless you're getting really to the dry part of the brush, and then maybe not so much. But let me stop and show you where I am right now. See what's coming? Some kind of centaur or something. He's speaking to us, and he wants to emerge in this painting, so I'm going to let him. Or maybe it's a woman with horns. Sounds like me. And she has this beautiful scarf on. It reminds me of these scarves I saw at Squam. Everyone had these beautiful scarves. Elena Hennessy was there teaching, and she has these wonderful, wonderful, luscious feeling wraps. But she didn't have them in the color that I wanted, so I'll have to go on her website and purchase. But maybe this scarf is like coming back to me from all the beautiful things I saw at Squam. Centaur woman with a scarf on or something. Because, you know, I really feel like with the paintings, you know, they have their purpose at the time. It's kind of like relationships. I read this really wonderful book called Coming Apart, and you know, you can have different beliefs, and I know, you know, people in my family who have had brilliant, long, committed marriages, and so I am in no way knocking that or saying that I don't believe in that, but this book Coming Apart really talks about, you know, different relationships, and maybe not marriages, but they're playing their part at the time you're in them, and then we get attached and we get really hung up on them and letting them go when they were to serve a purpose at the time, and they no longer serve that purpose, and we can't retain that attachment, or we are stymieing ourselves from moving on to the next piece of growth that's waiting for us on our path. So I just really loved that, and I think that is a wonderful analogy to some of our art pieces that, you know, when I first started painting, I was getting ready to, not that I knew this at the time, but I, you know, internally, unconsciously, working its way up was how unhappy I was in my marriage and how I needed to leave my husband. And, you know, that came up through painting. Did I paint that message? Not necessarily. I actually just painted joy. I painted, you know, I put this picture I found of this little boy, and I put the words, "I'm about life," and that to me was painting what I didn't have and painting out a manifestation, a visual of what I craved so animalistically, and what I needed in my life was life, energy, movement, spirit, passion, and things that were just not in my life at the time. And so sometimes we paint, and what we paint may not be what we expect, but it's a message, and it's there for a reason. So I'm going to go ahead and keep painting what I think calls to me in this image and see where it goes.